Hi, it's Talking Red. It's Thursday the 1st of November. How was it already November, Paul?
How is it?
How is it? I mean, I'm one of those grumpy fellas who are like, they're selling Christmas decorations already, but now it's like legit, like...
Whenever I'm on this now, it doesn't matter who I'm with, it tends to be like, you die.
Well...
How is it November? Halloween. We were talking about Halloween before we started filming. What's that all about? Why are people knocking on my door asking for sweets? Why am I going to the shop and buying sweets to give to people who knock on my door?
You're alright, you're in a leafy suburb side and see both things.
Honestly, I was thinking to myself before people knocked, because when people do, I heard someone say, as I was walking the dog, someone knocked on a door. This is a random start, isn't it? Someone knocked on someone's door and said, Happy Halloween. And I was like, that's not what you say. It's trick or treat. But I actually thought to myself when people come around, would I say, because I always say, give us a trick, what's the trick? But then I was thinking, someone might just stab you.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is...
Lash an egg, all that sort of stuff.
Well, Mizzy Night, I was amazed.
Do you have Mizzy Night where you're from? Is that a Liverpool thing? Or?
I think it's a Liverpool, I think Newcastle do it as well. But what I've noticed
just
is,
the scally cities.
As Halloween's gone that way, Mizzy Night's kind of gone that way. Remember Mizzy Night when we were kids? we knew each other. Long stuff, strange coincidence, but Mizzy Night round ours when we were kids, it was moody.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mizzy Night is basically just vandalism night by a different name. I don't know where that started either.
It was the Mizzy Night, innit?
Yeah.
One of them. Anyway, on to the football. Okay, back into action. Liverpool travel to Arsenal on Saturday for the late kick-off. I've been looking, there's a stat that's emerged, because we talk about Emirates record, our Liverpool set to travel there, do they fancy themselves? Because Arsenal have been scoring loads of goals, but then you look at Liverpool's defensive record since Virgil van Dijk signed, and just 14 goals conceded, which matches the generally accepted best defence in Europe, but Atletico Madrid and even less than Juventus.
It's incredible, isn't it? Like when you see it like that. I was saying on the Second Look show on Monday, I wonder whether we'll get to a point where when we're winning 1-0, we'll be confident that we'll still win the game because we're brilliant defensively now. It's been that ingrained in us that we're crap at defending and we always concede soft goals that it might take years, but I mean that's even when I saw that list and it came and we had the same as Atletico Madrid. And you would class them as a defensive team, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Basically, that's his thing, solid defensive. And we've conceded the same as them since he made his debut. Incredible. I mean...
And bear in mind as well, after that, most of that will be with Karius in goal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great point. Yeah, great point. Wow, I hadn't even thought of that.
So, I mean, just going through, you look at, obviously, one man doesn't make a defence because you look, when he was at Southampton, they still conceded goals. I mean, we slotted them a few times, but, I mean, we'll talk about Joe Gomez's partnership in a minute, but of the centre-halves that you've seen since you've started to go in the match on the regular, where would you rank him? Is he up there with the Sammy Hyypiä, say?
Do you know what? There's always that danger, isn't there, of thinking the most recent thing you've seen is the best. But and he's only been with us a short amount of time. Is he better than anyone I've seen in my adult life? There's a brilliant,
for Liverpool or just,
for Liverpool.
Right.
Well, and do you know what? He's up there. He's already up there quality-wise with any great centre back. When you think of his attributes, like Sammy Hyypiä is a perfect example of someone who was an amazing centre back and a great servant for the club and all that stuff. But he got the right managers. If he'd have been playing under Brendan Rodgers or Jurgen Klopp, I'm not sure we'd be talking about him in the same way.
Yeah, he's not playing on the halfway line, is he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if people were running at him one-on-one every week, I'm not sure he'd have enjoyed that. It's a bit like when that happened to John Terry for a bit and you think, all of a sudden, don't look that good. So, attribute-wise, he's up there, isn't he? Like, he's got more to his game than Carragher ever had. He's got more to his game all-round than Hyypiä had. And they're the best two, I'd probably say, in my adult life. What do you think?
I'd say the biggest testament to him is the £75 million. No one mentions it anymore.
Yeah.
No one mentions the price tag. And even if they did, it's relatively, you can't argue that it's not worth every penny.
Absolutely.
The difference that he's made. I don't know. I mean, we can go over the top. I'm not knocking him down. I'm not saying he's not the greatest, but I'd like to see it over a full season. Do you know what I mean? When they have a knock. I mean, I remember Sammy was all the time he was here. He had 1 3-month spell where he had a bit of a dip, but that was it. It was around about the time Steven Gerrard got the captaincy, if you remember. Yeah. And I'd like to see him with different partners as well. I think after these, I think it's a great credit to him. I think after these, why we've looked so solid this year is that he's allowed to be aggressive because Joe Gomez complements him so well. Yeah. On the cover, so he's allowed to push forward and maybe. I mean, he never loses it because he's so big, but how many times we've had maybe Dejan Lovren go for the head and miss it, and no one's filling in.
Yeah.
Whereas all of a sudden you've got this Rolls Royce of a young English centre back. You can turn the afterburners on and not even break stride.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me with both of them. The pace that they've got. I think even for me now, having seen it a few times, it still surprises me how quick they are. Gomez especially, he doesn't look like he'd be that quick, and he's absolutely lightning. But I think it's worth saying as well in this that I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. Dejan Lovren's not getting a mention, but he's seamlessly dropped into that team a few times now and been absolutely perfect. Done nothing really wrong. I think one of the big things about Virgil, which I love and we've mentioned before, is that he does make mistakes. He's already made mistakes in big games as well. I remember away at Old Trafford last season, and it doesn't bother him. It doesn't affect his game, and we've said that about coming to play for a team like Liverpool in the past, in goal as well. You can't afford to have people who make mistakes, and it really affects how they play. Yeah. And I think that's a bigger thing than anything else. He's just got this calm around him, and I think Gomez has got the same thing, and that sort of rubs off on everybody, including the likes of Lovren when they come in. Because then Lovren, he's made a couple of mistakes since he's been in, but we've got something now that we never used to have, which is people bailing each other out. The likes of United's old defenders, Palace, De Bruce, Schmeichel in goal,
Stam.
Yeah, they would all make mistakes, but they had such quality around them that they'd bail each other out, so it wouldn't lead to goals all the time.
Do you think, the whole nature of the game is changing with some of the top teams in Europe? So, for instance, basically, we're going to mention it in a minute, we talk about all partnerships. You mentioned Houllier was a defensive coach, you mentioned that before. Yeah. And Benitez would set up to control rather than attack. But now you've got the two most attacking sides in the league, Manchester City and Liverpool, with the best defensive records. Yeah. It's a curious paradox, but you always dominate the ball. I thought Neil Warnock said plenty of stupid things at the time, but I thought that he made a really good comment last week when he was talking about the lads who he compared Van Dijk to last year. And he said what I was trying to say was if he had to do as much defending as my lad did, and he was obviously really complimenting him, but I thought that was a really sharp point. Whereas he mentioned Atletico Madrid, the way they set up, but you can be defensively strong without actually defending that much.
Yeah, well, it's like the old adage. I remember my dad used to bang on about this when I was growing up. Yeah, defence is attack is the best form of defence, and it's partly that the way City and Liverpool play is you are defending on the front foot all the time from every part of the pitch. So you actually limit the number of times that defenders have to do traditional type defending.
We have to be decisive at the back at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all well and good. Everyone's saying, if they had to defend as much as we have to defend. But I think in lots of ways, I've always said this about Liverpool goalkeepers and Man United goalkeepers, Chelsea, the peak. I think it's easier to play in goal for a team where you're the goalkeeper expert, you can tell us, where you're getting loads of shots on you, because you get to put in a performance, you get to work on that, whereas you can play in goal for Liverpool, not do anything for 95 minutes and then have to pull off a save.
I've had this argument before, and I've said this many times, I think it's a completely different position. Yeah. Playing in goal for a top six side and playing in goal for a different side. Not just the concentration angle on that, and then to do, but you're expected to recycle the ball quickly, you're expected to be a bit of a leader, control shape. The pressure, the pressure you must be under. We felt it. You talk about that anxiety now. Where, I think the last time when we were relaxed at 1-0 was under Rafa, and that's slowly creeping back in now. We're nowhere near where we should be. We've conceded one goal at home since February. In the league. And we conceded one against Cardiff the other day, and everyone loses their shit. What's all that about?
I know, and that was a freak goal as well, wasn't it?
Weird. One of its deflection, it happens. Sometimes you just concede a goal. It's weird. Yeah. But it's just that control and relaxation and not having that pressure, whereas the last season and the season before, even on the bread we talk, and we're going to mention this in a minute, with Brendan, unless we were 2 or 3 up, you're thinking we're going to concede here, and it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, definitely. Because you can't tell me that doesn't transmit down into the ground in the touchline, because it does. The players have admitted it, the managers have admitted it, and the manager puts so much stock in what the atmosphere in the ground's like. So it's. I think everyone just needs to chill out a little bit. It's literally there in black and white how good defensively we are now, and long may it continue. We're looking at the notes here, and I know that we said the game's changed, but there's a quote there for Ferguson saying attacks win your games, defence win your titles, but he's got a point. If you don't concede, you don't lose, do you? Yeah, it's something we've talked about for a while, isn't it? It's all well and good. We've seen so many teams over the years. The Newcastle one springs to mind, and ours obviously, the 13-14 one, where the attack was just sensational and the stuff they did and the entertainment value was incredible. But at the end of the day, they didn't win the league. And Ferguson, when Ferguson says stuff, you've got to listen to it no matter how much you might dislike him or dislike what he did. But
He's the best manager of a modern generation.
Would it be a fair comment to say maybe a couple of these that you talk about Newcastle and the Liverpool side under Brendan Rodgers, they had no handbrake? Does that make sense? They had no alright.
Yeah, it was flat out or not.
There's no third, second, fourth gear, it's either full throttle.
Yeah, and in fairness, I think that was something that was labelled the Klopp's teams in the past as well, and I think we're seeing the evolution of that. Again, we were talking about that on Second Look a few weeks ago, that teams under elite managers progress year on year, and I think that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing more of an ability to control games with the ball and not need to be at flat out, full on gegenpressing to win.
But do you think that's born out of necessity? So I've got a counterpoint to that is that's what we've got to do, because whereas Klopp first came in, people knew we had a soft underbelly, they could attack us, so they leave those spaces in behind now. And go back to what Guardiola was saying the other week. Pep Guardiola, manager probably the best side in Europe, saying if you go to Anfield and attack, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
So teams just aren't giving us that space, so we've had to develop this way of playing and be a little bit more patient, a little bit more mature. Who knows? Which leads on to Arsenal. We talked before about Liverpool, Liverpool doing so well in the league, and despite maybe not hitting the heights, and whether that's because of the opposition or whether the way the opposition is set up, or whether it's something to do with Liverpool. But Liverpool we travel down to, I nearly said Highbury then.
Highbury.
Old school. We travel down to Arsenal tomorrow, and there's potential there for a perfect storm for Liverpool, because you're talking about a team that's won 11 out of 12, have been scoring goals, but also leaking at the back. Could it be a classic, or did Liverpool just need to concentrate on getting the 3 points?
I suppose my sensible answer is concentrate on getting the 3 points. I'm not sure. It's funny when you say classic, but it depends what you mean by classic. I probably don't see this team being involved in classics anymore, in the sense of sort of the old Newcastle 4-3 type games, because touching all kinds of wood there. Defensively, I don't see us conceding that many goals again.
Let me quantify that by classic, saying 4 or 5.
Oh, okay. Where we demolished them. Yeah. Maybe.
A 3-day bender win.
Yeah, maybe. Do you know what? Maybe it was funny. I was saying before, but this is proper old man territory. But they crept up. The way they've been, their results has crept up on me. But a few people have said to me that they've actually been dead lucky in that run. And part of me thinks, can you be that lucky to win? Is it 11 out of 12?
Well, Leicester. I watched the Leicester game the other day, and they could have been even 2 or 3 down before they'd even registered. But the way these games fall, I think what they have been good at this season is turning the screw when they've got any hint of an advantage. I think that's been a difference this year. There's been a couple of games this year where they've got away with it. I think they scored the last minute winner against Newcastle as well. They're certainly confident, but maybe that overconfidence could be the downfall.
Well, it goes back to what you were saying before. Most teams you come up against now are going to sit in and sit deep and make it hard for us to play. And even City, when they came to Anfield, changed the way they played, which is a massive compliment to us. But Arsenal, I can't see Arsenal doing that. And it'll be interesting to see how Emery approaches it, because he knows how dangerous we are, just as Guardiola knows. But they're at home and their fans, this is a big test for them, because they've had this run. I'm not sure whether they've played anyone as good as us in that time. I don't think they have. So it's a real big test for them to see where they actually line up against a team like us or a team like City, who look like we're going to be in for the title. So it'll be dead interesting to see how he approaches it. I'm confident. I think this is a big game for us to go to.
For all this, there's talk of we need to send a statement to City. I don't necessarily buy that. I just think we need to take care of ourselves, and if we win by 3 or 4, well then great. But I think as soon as you start thinking about other teams and what their perception is, you kind of lose a little bit of focus.
Yeah, I'd take a 1-0 win right now, wouldn't you?
Is that your prediction?
No.
What do you reckon?
7-8-0.
7-8? No, go ahead.
I don't know. They have been firing, haven't they? So if we to keep a clean sheet, we'll be going some. I don't know. Maybe an old-fashioned.
Is this paranoia that we were talking about Liverpool?
Maybe. But they are good, and they are at home. And I know, but they have been scoring goals, haven't they? And they have got some decent players up there. So I don't know. 2-1, a nice sort of old-fashioned 2-1 win, but fairly solid and. Yeah.
I'll take that.
What are you going for?
I'll take that, and I'll go with a 3-1, with their one being a consolation. That's been your talking Reds today. Nice one.